Making money has evolved in Hypixel Skyblock. Back in the day, it was as easy as going into the auction house and it was all pretty much there for you. Items such as enchanted books were incredibly easy to flip on the auction house and could make you a ton of coins. Of course, nowadays, this guy has stolen the enchanted books, and increasing auction house fees means that now you have to actually make more coins to profit because your profit margin is now less. Of course, the turn of islands like the Garden have made it easier for early game players to make money. However, a large proportion of the player base aren't early game, plus farming is really boring. The first money making method we're going to be taking a look at today revolves around the Searing Stone. Essentially, the Searing Stone is one of probably the most popular reforges that people can put on equipment. It gives a strength and reforge, gives you a little bit of strength and also a little bit of defense. Its crafting recipe is as followed, so you need 50 enchanted magma creams which you can just buy directly from the bazaar, and then 30 enchanted netherrack which you can do the exact same. The cost to craft is around about 82k. Of course, the other component to craft is 50 magma chunks. Now, the way that you obtain these magma chunks is basically by coming over to the Crimson Isles and killing these mobs right here, the magma cubes. They're the mobs that are going to basically make you drop these magma chunks. And to be honest, the whole purpose of killing these doesn't even have to be to get magma chunks. It could just simply be to grind vanquishers, meaning that making money from this could literally just be passive. Now, the easiest way really to kill them is just go around with a Hyperion and mage setup and just one-tap them. You can kill them with a Terminator, but this is just way quicker. Well, unless you can one-tap them with a Terminator, and in that case, that may be quicker. However, I'm going to see how long it takes to get 50, and then we can calculate how many coins we're going to make. Okay, so to get those 50 magma chunks, it took around about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Of course, the reason why this actually makes a lot of money is because you have to manually grind for the magma chunks. You can't buy them and they're soulbound. Anyway, you can sell a Searing Stone for 1.2 million coins, which means in theory, if you grind this for 1 whole hour, you could make over 20 million coins just as a byproduct from killing these magma cubes, which is actually pretty good. Of course, if your main goal is just maybe to farm vanquishers anyway, then why not? Before we go any further, if you do ever purchase anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS, it gets you 5% off. Also, you should subscribe to the channel, become part of the 24%, there's no reason not to. We are incredibly close to 50k subscribers, so every subscriber would help. You should also join the Discord server, it's linked in the description of every single video. Now, I wouldn't say the first method required a massive amount of effort. After all, given the right gear, you are literally just spamming right click. However, the next method is a little bit more passive in a sense, as you don't actually have to actively be grinding things. This method revolves around glowstone gauntlets, and the idea is not to craft them. You see how gauntlets that are like dominant speed are 240 mil? Maybe that was a little bit overpriced. Or mana pool 10, mana regen 10, which is 184 mil. What I'm trying to get at is the higher tier god rolls for glowstone gauntlets sell for a lot of coins. And when you actually start looking into how much it will cost to actually craft these, you probably start to realise that there's probably some money to be made. And I'm going to try and prove it by having a go ourselves. Now, first of all, I'm going to try and find a dominant speed glowstone gauntlet. We found one here for 900k, so we're going to go ahead and buy it. And this is going to be our base gauntlet. So now what we need to do is we need to find, well, first of all, a dominance 1 gauntlet and speed 1 gauntlet. And we should be able to craft those together to get dominance 2, speed 2, and then so on. So I've made it easier to see how much we're actually going to spend by just having 100 mil in our purse. There we go, we've spent 600k, we've paid 300k each, we've got another dominance 1 and also a speed 1. So now if we do /attribute menu, that will take us to this menu. And we can first add our dominance and speed gauntlet in, and then we can add our speed gauntlet in first. That will craft together to give us dominance 1, speed 2. We'll then go ahead and take that and put it back in the slot. And then take our dominance gauntlet and apply that so we get dominance 2, speed 2. And we're going to upgrade this to a point where we're going to make profit. So we've now managed to pick up 2 more dominance gauntlets and 2 more speed gauntlets. So now we must craft both of the dominance gauntlets to make dominance 2, which we've got there. And the same process for the speed gauntlets, which will give us speed 2. We'll take. Now we put our dominance speed gauntlet in, and then we put our dominance gauntlet in, and when we have dominance 3, and once again the same process for speed, which will give us dominance 3, speed 3. At the moment we've spent just less than 3 million coins. Okay, we've now spent around about 15 million coins and we've bought quite a few different gauntlets. But we've made quite a lot of progress, so we can get our dominance 3. There we go, dominance 3. We also have a speed 3. So that now goes to speed 4, and this should now go to dominance 4 as well, which it does. We also picked up a good deal on a dominance 4 speed 4 on its own, so that takes us to dominance 5 speed 5. And we also got another good deal on a dominance 5 speed 5, which now takes us to dominance 6 speed 6 for around about 15 to 16 mil. Okay, so we've now managed to pick up, actually, 3 more dominance 6 speed 6. We've actually got quite a few good deals. So we're actually going to be able to craft all of this into dominance 8 speed 8. That's cost us around about 43 mil. And at the moment, the cheapest dominance 8 speed 8 glowstone gauntlet on the market is 65 mil. Bearing in mind we've paid 43 mil. After tax, we're looking at around about maybe just less than a 15 million coin profit. After looking over the auction house as well, I could have probably got this for at least 10 million coins cheaper if I would have just used my brain a little bit more. Nevertheless, you can't argue with a 15 million coin profit. Now, it isn't just dominant speed that you can do this method with. Like I mentioned earlier, there are other god rolls such as mana pool, mana regen, potentially veteran vitality. However, they're probably the main ones. It is hard to give an hourly figure, and I don't think it's appropriate that we do, considering, well, that took me probably about 10 minutes to do. But I wouldn't say that you can make 15 million coins every 10 minutes. Because to say this method could make like 90 mil an hour would be a lie. That's of course unless you get really lucky with what people basically list. At the end of the day, this is basically just modern day AH flipping. Now, in addition to the first money making method that I mentioned in this video, there's other reforged stones that you can craft within the Crimson Isles that are going to be able to make you a lot of profit too. If you head over to the blazes that are just at the left of spawn, next to the, well, with the spectres that were alive, these blazes drop Bezos. And no, not Jeffrey Bezos. Combine 10 of these with, well, 80 enchanted blaze powder and you get blaze wax. You can sell blaze wax for 1.5 million coins on the bazaar. You won't profit quite as much considering you'll also have to buy 80 enchanted blaze powder like I mentioned, which is over 800k. However, potentially you could get the Bezos quicker than you can get the magma chunks, and maybe you could make more profit. Play around with it and see what works for you. Anyway, I hope at least one of these money making methods helps you out. Maybe crafting the reforged stones could make your grind in the Crimson Isles that little bit less painful. As for the gemstone gauntlet flips, you should try it out yourself and see how it works. Anyway, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.